Please, see that he stays safe. By the protection of the electric arc.
Show them.
Please.
If this rain keeps up, my fur will be dripping wet. Right here, emerge.
Let's begin. Let's end this quickly.
Fate is upon you. Show them. I'm always watching. Come on now.
Put your back into it.
Yeah. Right now, emerge.
Not breaking a sweat. It's time for our last breeze.
Shine down. Inazuma shines eternal. Come on now. Right here, emerge. Illusion shattered! Decided by destiny! Time for takeoff! Wouldn't gliding be faster? Let's play! Shine down! Think you can get away? What a nuisance! Right now, emerge! A sight to behold. delve into destiny. The stars are fading. Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled in but a few short lines. If this rain keeps up, my fur will be dripping wet. Right now, right here. Emerge. I think this time it turned out better than before.
Why do you explorers make the same mistakes over and over again?
Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
The same mistakes over and over again.
I think this time it turned out better than before.
Come, try some creative cooking.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world. I think this time it turned out better than before.
Come, try some creative cooking.
Why do new explorers make the same mistakes over and over again?
I think this time it turned out better than before.
Come,
Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
Why do new explorers make the same mistakes over and over again?
I think this time it turned out better than before.
restaurant? This isn't even worth mentioning.
Should I report this to my superiors? Should I report this to my superiors?
Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled in but a few short lines. Their stories really make for terribly dull reading.
Should I report this to my superiors? Should I report this to my superiors?
Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
Should I report this to my superiors?
Should I report this to my superiors?
Right here. Emerge. Right now. Ad Astra. Thank you for completing. Beings eventually pass away. Including gods. It's a terrible. Ad Astra.
Rebooting.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world.
Isn't even worth mentioning.
Rebooting.
Ad Astra Abyssa.
Worth mentioning.
The same mistakes over and over again.
Error.
Try some creative cooking.
Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled in but a few short lines. Their stories really make for terribly dull reading.
Worth mentioning.
Why do new explorers make the same mistakes over and over again?
Try some creative cooking.
Error.
That place isn't even worth mentioning.
shattered!
You're open!
Shadows of fate!
The hunter. The hunter becomes the hunted.
Torn to oblivion! Yahoo! Delved into destiny, written in the stars. Fate is upon you. Here we go. Let's play. Time for takeoff. Shine down. Let me scrub. Decided by destiny. Here we go. Leave my space. Shadows of fate. Now you shall perish. Illusion shattered. Let's play. Think you can get away? Written in the stars! There is no escape!
Has the most prosperous commercial version in honor of that.
Now could be true.
Divination is about precisely foretelling one's written destiny. Over-embellishing that fate only leads to misconception.
Barbados. Wait a minute. Illusion shattered!
My sister could say I would suit me. Talk to the Electro Archon whenever you are troubled. No, let me try again.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Now then, I always have my ways. It's just a question of how crafty I need to be. To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept. Luckily, I'm A's familiar, so I can sense her rough whereabouts. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial location of this realm, I can still send you to where A is.
So, it's abstract, but has a location, but you don't know where it is, but you can still send us there. What?
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Right now, she is surrounded by chaos. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time. This is precisely why when entering the plane of euthymia, it's much safer if you place your consciousness in a physical object first.
What? All right, well, time I'd stay here then. You two can go in.
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
You... Paimon had it up to here with both of you! Oh, fine! Paimon's coming too.
Oh, well, if you're quite sure, then of course. Now, I shall send you on your way. I say. Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. My suspicions have been confirmed. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination. Well then, the door's open. Hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'll be ready to respond if anything happens. I'm placing my god in your capable hands. For my sake and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
Nico, you better know what you're doing!
That's enough chatter. Get to work. Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
How can this be? You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years? This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration too. You bring honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity. Now these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps. Then, let this be our final duel. The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago. Final duel? So you're finally willing to... Stand back, traveler. I'm going to be the start of something new. The time our duels took to fight was long enough to witness the rise and fall of nations. The energy they consumed, great enough to vaporize the ocean and turn day into night. And the will they married, sufficient to penetrate minds and crush dreams. You have endured. I will endure forever. Illusion shattered! Witness the final calamity! Perish! Inferior! Eternity is in my hands! Transcend all constraints. The will I carry within me will never be eroded nor destroyed! Illusion shattered! Inferior! There is no escape! Witness the final calamity! Erase all threats. Follow my blade. Eternity is in my hands. Illusion shattered! Inferior! Ruin follows my blade! Shine down! Purge all obstacles! Illusion shattered! Witness the final calamity! There is no escape! Inferior! Inferior! Shine down! Eternity is in my hands! Follow my blade! Inferior! Inferior! There is no escape! The final calamity! There is no escape! Purge all obstacles! Erase all threats! Shine down! Inferior! This is the end. You have won. I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and I underestimated your spirit. But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the future. You need not worry about the future. And you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, I would have lost this duel for sure. Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring within Muso Ishin. The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me, to encourage me. I noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar power. This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its full power when I truly understand and believe in her. When I clasped Muso Ishin in my hands, I had the feeling that she was by my side once again. It was at once a familiar feeling and a strange one. Makoto barely wielded a blade in her life, and yet her blade brings me closer to her. You have my approval. Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer stop you from attempting to modify the rules. From this day forth, this body will remain your assistant. I won't design any more rules that can never be changed. You used to represent my past, but from today onward, you are me. Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, I should not regard you as a mere tool. You truly have changed. I suppose this is what humans call growth. I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's shadow. The duties I perform will not change. But as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to fight like this again in the future. Do you say this because you have not yet reconciled yourself with your defeat? It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Have you finished fighting then? Like, for real this time?
Hello, A. And greetings, those who have come to bear witness. I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces. Makoto? I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the end. I left a faint fragment of my will in Muso Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released. A convoluted way to reach you, but... well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came to me. But... you never mentioned this to me. Everything happened so suddenly. I'm sorry. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness. Did you know what was about to happen in Conria? I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any Archon could afford to ignore. In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma has experienced in the meantime. But I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And I'm sure you must have wanted to shed tears many times along the way. Don't look down on me. See? You admit it. It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Something to soothe Inazuma's pain. Here, take it, before my last shred of consciousness fades away. But it is you who must take the most important step.
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh? Is it really? Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh? Goodbye, Makoto.
So the A of the present planted the sacred Sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma of the past. No matter what you make of it, it's quite incredible.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is much more profound than mine. Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity, the concept of time becomes murky.
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. So that was the turbulence I was sensing. Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precisely to this point in time without any problems. And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now completely disappeared.
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that the reason for everything, it's that seed.
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power alone.
Without the sacred Sakura, Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up centuries ago by that disaster and the filth.
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred Sakura, but to me, it has always been there. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred Sakura and Makoto's consciousness, but unfortunately, you never did persuade me, did you?
No, but I understand why now. It was because the sacred Sakura hadn't even been planted then.
But don't you think that tree looked a lot different than how it does now?
The sacred Sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to prune it exactly how I like it.
Ugh. Now we see who's pulling the strings.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it appears today. And obviously I played my part too. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. But in that same time, centuries of battling took place on the inside, did it not? Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you? At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed anomalies in the flow of time within that space. Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Simply establishing a location was not sufficient. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection of all that you were wishing for. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced by Makoto, but it took everyone's efforts combined to ultimately help A. So this time, it looks like thanks are due to you.
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside, so it was a great shock to me when the traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, to help me reach the best possible outcome. You too have my thanks. You have done much for me, and I will never forget it.
A, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's will no longer fights against me.
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really asking about your emotions. Have you managed to calm down? After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice. I wouldn't say I saw her. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my decision to move forward. I have to say, this has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was. She predicted all the ways in which Inazuma's future could unfold, all the way back then. She even factored my immaturity into her plan. It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see this day. I just planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again. That's amazing!
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally emerge from the shadows cast by the events of centuries past. Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and future, and both are indispensable.
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you. I graciously accept them.
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never used to listen to a word I say.
Makoto said the exact same thing!
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, Does that qualify me to, maybe, take the position of shogun for a couple of days? Actually, no. Forget that. Far more trouble than it's worth.
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much work to be done. The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things currently stand. Then, we will give careful consideration to the future. After that, I will abolish the Sakoku decree.
Really? That's huge news!
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under lock and key. I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma. I'm looking forward to it.
May the blossoms of the sacred Sakura bloom eternally. Protection of the Electro Archon.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them. Abolishing the Sakoku decree has a myriad of implications. It would be folly to say that it will be all positive, and there will be no negative repercussions. For example, I can foresee the outside world posing a threat to Inazuma's businesses. These are the issues that I must work to solve.
Hey, you're thinking about this all so conscientiously. I've only got as far as wondering whether I'll be able to sell entrance tickets to the Grand Narukami Shrine in the future.
Honestly, Miko. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them. Makoto's gaze was always fixed on the people of Inazuma. I always assumed it was because that was her duty. But now, I see that hers was a gaze full of delight and hope. It was not just a duty, but a joy, too. She loved humanity very dearly.
If the people of the past deserve the gods' attention, then so do the people of the future.
Indeed. No longer will I ignore their passions and dreams. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them. To put it bluntly, it was constant torture, with no end in sight. Faced with an endless battle, I had to remain focused at all times. Had my concentration lapsed for but a moment, the Shogun's blade would have taken my life. Safe to say, were it not for my previous experiences in combat, my skills would not have been up to the challenge. I would most certainly have been defeated. And through it all, you also had your part to play. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I will be sure to remind the Tenryou and Yashiro commissions of their duties in this regard. It's not only the monsters that I am worried about. I'm concerned about what else might escape from the sacred Sakura.
That's a tough one, all right. There's plenty more besides memories held in the ley lines.
Since you clearly understand, perhaps you could think about making an effort too. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
Yai Miko said nothing of the sort, and the traveler has some nerve making up spurious claims about her while she is still present. Some words are not to be passed on. Trust me, you don't want to know the cost of betraying me. Just think of the things I said to you as our little secret. Understood?
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Ooh, I suddenly want some fried tofu.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma.
Protection.
This should be where Kokomi said to meet her. Do you still remember this place? Paimon remembers we came by here last time we visited Watatsumi Island. That was back when you did your stint as captain of Swordfish too. Paimon's curious whether the resistance troops still remember you. Things on the island must have changed a lot since then. Oh, shall we take a look around?
If the enemy outnumbers you, seek their weakness and exploit it. If you outnumber the enemy, seek unequivocal domination and crush them. Marauders on the waterfront are supplied by sea. Burning their ships is the path to success.
General Goro, sir, do you have a verdict?
More or less. From the directives left behind by Her Excellency, we can surmise that a Fatui ship is moored nearby. This explains their aggressive posture. We could split into 2 teams. One to draw their attention, and the other to circle around behind enemy lines and set fire to their ship. They'd have nowhere to run. Then again, Madame Kokumi made clear that we are not to split up without sufficient forces. We'd risk being picked off one by one until our whole line of defense disintegrated.
Sir, shall I send for reinforcements?
I doubt there's time. Based on their movements, they'd likely be gone before our troops arrived. Her Excellency's directives also stipulate that we should wait in ambush and avoid making the first move. Since we lack sufficient troops, I don't think we can afford to engage the enemy at this time.
Sir, we're just gonna stand by and watch them leave? Surely there must be another way.
Her Excellency's directives also state help may arrive when all seems lost. As for where this help is supposed to come from,
Hey, Goro! What are you guys up to?
Captain, you've returned to Watatsumi Island.
That's great! Her Excellency's directives are as reliable as ever. You've arrived just in time. Recently, the remnants of the Fatui forces have been unusually active. We've been monitoring their movements, waiting in ambush here. Unfortunately, we don't have the manpower to split into 2 teams. Can we ask you to keep them occupied?
Hard to say no when it's the Fatui. Whatever they're planning, we won't let them get away with it.
Good. There's not a moment to lose. We'll go behind enemy lines and sabotage their ship. Let's meet back here afterward. Watch yourselves. We'll be back shortly.
Seems like the Resistance still remembers us. Come on, let's help them get this situation under control.
You'll get frostbite.
Right here. Right now. I'm always watching.
Time for takeoff.
Yahoo! Decided by destiny.
Freshness preserved.
Detached from the world. Illusion shattered!
A descent.
Shouldn't get careless.
Wouldn't gliding be faster? Think you can get away?
Let's move.
Shadows of the...
There is no escape! Written in the stars!
What odious fate!
Shine down!
Comrades, they've set the ship on fire! An arson attack! Curse them! They leave us no choice but to attack! Comrades, let's make them regret it! Finished.
We were lucky to have you here. We'd have no way to prevent their escape without you.
What's that you're holding? Is it the directives from Kokomi? Let Paimon see! Oh, wow! This is a whole book! Is it all Kokomi's directives?
Yeah. Well, no, not all of them. I have 5 more volumes with me.
Are you serious?
Her Excellency always plans for every scenario. Plus, these are her general operational directives, which are more comprehensive than most. Still, we're fortunate to have them. They make sure we're prepared for every eventuality, no matter how complex.
Understanding every eventuality sounds tiring enough, let alone writing them all down. Must have taken Kokomi a heck of a long time.
Captain, are you back on Watatsumi Island to lead Swordfish 2 again? We've all been feeling your absence. Her Excellency says that now is a time of peace, and that we should reduce the size of the military and focus on helping the civilian population return to normal life. About half of us are still organized into task forces, supporting the platoons. The other half have been given various other functions like patrol, construction, and farming. Of course, not everyone's happy about it. The other day, an old buddy of mine was grumbling about being forced to build houses. Said they'd have to drag him away from the front line, kicking and screaming.
The spirit of the resistance is alive and well, huh? Anyway, we're here because Kokomi invited us to the victory feast. Do you know where we can find her, Goro?
I believe Her Excellency is currently at Boro Village. There were reports of a possible disturbance over there. If I'm not mistaken, Her Excellency has gone to deal with it in person. We should probably get going ourselves. And, also, on your way over, please check in on the soldiers. I'm sensing a growing unease among them, but I don't know what's causing it. They won't say. They used to tell me all their concerns, but whatever this is, they're keeping it hidden. I don't like it one bit. I suspect there's trouble afoot.
Sounds good. Paimon was just thinking it'd be good to see everyone again. Ready when you are.